Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. My name is Kanad, and today we're going to talk about this special instrument right here, my Eastman T484. This guitar here has a really interesting story, so if you want to join me in telling that story, grab a cup of coffee or grab yourself a beer, and I hope you enjoy it. Oh wait, hold on a second. You're not subscribed, are you? Well, there's a button right here, just click it. It says subscribe, and that helps me a lot, and you can watch all my videos, so it's a win-win situation, ain't it? Thank you. All right, so let me zoom in a little bit, make it more personal, and let me tell you the story. So about a month ago, I visited my friends Martin and Lucas from L&M Guitar Corner, and if you haven't checked out their channel yet, please do so, because they're amazing people. They have a cool channel where they show all of their gear, which is a massive collection for both of them. I went there, we met through the internet, through live streams and the YouTube channel and all that. They're like two hours away from me. So I went there, they invited me, and they showed me all of their gear. And one thing they had in stock for me was to go and visit their favorite guitar shop. So we went there, and the guitar shop was Adi's Guitar Store. That was a beautiful store. It was a small shop, but it felt very welcoming, and he had one of the best stocks I've ever seen. So he had Eastman guitars, he had Prestige Ibanez's, he had awesome stock, and the owner himself, he was an amazing guy. We jammed a little bit with him, and it was a really fun time. So we were playing guitars there. I played an Eastman 7-string jazz box. I played a couple of Ibanez's, and I've never been a fan of the 339 shape. So what happened is this guitar was hanging there as a wall display, and my friend Lucas, he was like, "Hey, check this out. You're gonna love it." I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll check it out," but I'm not a big fan of the 339 form. I'm mostly a fan of the 335 because it's bigger and I feel more comfortable with it. And he was like, "Trust me, you should play this guitar." So I played it. I was plugged into an AC30 S1, and 30 minutes passed by, and then I realized I was just playing the guitar and I was enjoying it, and I just created my own bubble around that shop, around that guitar. And I mean, I've never had that feeling before with a guitar, so I was like, shit, I'm in trouble now. And I asked for the price, and he gave me a deal on it actually, but it's definitely not an affordable guitar. It's not that expensive, but you can't call it an affordable guitar. So first thing that came to my mind is I'm gonna let some stuff go, and I can see if I can afford it. Let's see what we can do. So I told him, "Hey, can you at least reserve it for me for a couple of weeks so I can figure stuff out, because I'm definitely in love with this guitar." And I thought it was like just in the moment, but I mean, a week passed by and I was just thinking about this guitar constantly. So a week passes by, I text him, he still has the guitar, everything's fine. Another week passes by, I wasn't able to sell all of my things that I wanted to. He texted me and he was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, but I had to let go of the guitar. Someone really wanted it. They wouldn't leave the shop. They really wanted it, so I couldn't keep it for you." And I mean, of course, that's what he does. He sells guitars, and I'm really grateful that he held it on for like a couple of weeks. I'm really appreciative of that. But to say that I was sad about it is an understatement. I was really devastated by the fact that I'm never gonna see that guitar again. And the thing about these guitars is that they're all handmade, and one thing about handmade guitars is they can really differ from one another. And I thought that one was it. I mean, I just had it blocked in my mind that I could find something exactly like it. Even my girlfriend, she saw how upset I was, and she was like, "All right, let's run to the guitar shop and let's buy you a guitar, whatever you want." I was like, "No, that's not the case. Thank you, but I really wanted that one, you know?" But after a couple of hours, I realized, oh, I have a trip planned to Vienna, and Vienna has this huge music shop called Klangfarbe, and they actually stock Eastman. So I grabbed my phone and I googled, and lo and behold, they had a 2484 in stock. So I was like, all right, I still wasn't optimistic, and I was like, all right, if we have the time, I'm just gonna go check it out and see how that works for me. I mean, if it does the thing for me or it doesn't, because it was one of those times, as I said, it had to be that guitar. Again, I was really upset about it, but couple of days pass by, and me and my girlfriend, we go to Vienna, which is 500 or 600 kilometers to go and to return. So was a long trip. I had some personal business there. We went to the guitar shop and I see this guitar, and first thing that I see is the flame on here. This one has a tighter flame, which I like better. And I was like, okay, but that doesn't mean anything to me. So I want to see how the guitar feels, because that's the most important thing. But I was really intrigued to see that this has a tighter flame than the other one. The other one had a wider flame. It was beautiful as well, but first things first, I like this one better because of the flame. But again, the feel of the guitar is everything to me. So I grabbed it. Actually, I asked an employee to grab it for me, and they were like, what kind of amp do you want to play with? And I was like, let's try a Princeton, because that's a really transparent amp. So he puts me in this room. Klangfarbe is really cool. It's a really big shop, and they have these separate rooms where you can try amps and guitars out. And he put me in this room, and he had a Vox AC10 and a Princeton reverb laying there just so I can try the guitar out. Because my girlfriend, she's very smart, and she was like, what's a Princeton? I was like, it's a Fender amp. She was like, do you have it? I said, no, I don't, but I do have a Vox AC10. And she was like, okay, you should plug into the Vox AC10 and see how that sounds, because that's something you're familiar with. And I was like, huh, she's right. But again, I wanted to play Princeton, so I plugged into the Princeton and to the Vox as well. And to my surprise, I like the Vox AC10 better, but that's a different story. So let's get back to this one. So I grabbed it, plugged it in, and first thing that I played was just an open E chord. And I was like, hell yes, this is not happening. It feels amazing. It actually, in all honesty, it's not that it actually felt better than the other one. So the neck happens to be a bit fatter on this one, and that really made me happy. I was just playing the guitar nonstop, and I was like, oh my God, this is not happening. I found the one, but I didn't make the mistake of letting it go. So I pulled the trigger on it, and oh man, this guitar is just, it's a very special guitar. As I said, I never thought that I would fall for a 339, because as I said, I like ES335s better, but that has definitely changed. Because I mean, look at this. I'm really proud of owning this guitar. I'm really grateful that I have it, and it means a lot to me because it's a really good guitar. And I've been playing it non-stop since the day I got it, and I doubt that I'll be putting it down anytime soon, because it just makes me feel better when I play this guitar. I mean, I've played a lot of cool guitars, a lot of more expensive guitars, but this is just special. This has nothing to do with money or anything at the moment, because this is me. Like this guitar, this is me. So yeah, my suggestion is, if you feel something like this, if you relate to what I've said, and if you have the means to, grab what you want to grab. I mean, I'm not saying that you should go in debt or something like that, but if you can afford it, if you can't live without it, just go ahead and do it, because it's gonna repay itself. Because the joy that this thing brings to me is it's priceless. So another thing that I experienced is a tip that I can give you if you want to go guitar shopping. So as I said, Adi from Adi's Guitar Shop, he gave me a deal on the T484 that he had. I went to Klangfarbe and asked him, hey, I've seen this guitar in another shop, and they actually gave me a deal on it, so would you be willing to match that price for me? To my surprise, they were like, yeah, what's the price? So the price was like 100 euros off, and they did it without hesitation at all. So if you want to go guitar shopping, and if you've seen that the price of the guitar that you're looking for is cheaper somewhere else, just ask the shop politely, and just ask them if they can match the price, because yeah, the first time that I'd asked, they did it, so why not? Just give it a shot. So yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet story, because I thought I'm never gonna see that guitar again, and I thought I'm never gonna find the right guitar for me, because that was it. But I hope that guitar is in good hands. But it helped me find this one, which is honestly my dream guitar. I've been drooling over it on this video, and you can probably tell. But I paid it with my own money. No, it's not a sponsored video. I'm not affiliated with Eastman whatsoever, even though now I want to. So Eastman, give me a ring. All right, so enough about the story. Let's zoom out a little bit and let's talk about the specs and what this guitar is. So headstock, in my channel's fashion, we're gonna start with the headstock. It's a beautiful design, and this used to be a little bigger, but now on the new models, it's actually very, very beautifully made, as you can see. On the back of the headstock, we have Pingwell tuners. To be honest, I've never heard of them, but they have a good ratio to them. They work perfectly. They're old Kluson style tuners, and yeah, they just work. Another interesting detail is the truss rod cover is made out of wood, and I believe it's rosewood or ebony, and I really like these touches on these guitars. Going further down, we have the nut, and on the spec sheet it says that it's a bone nut, but I do not know the difference between bone and Graphtec and all that, and plastic. Well, I can't tell it when it's plastic, but it's a really good nut. It's cut really well. Although I have 11s on now because it was set up for 10s, I might have to file the nut slots a little bit just so they can move a little bit more smoothly, but no tuning issues whatsoever. Beautifully made. The thing that sold me with this guitar was the neck and the fretwork. These frets are Jazzcar frets, and let me remind you, you can find Jazzcar frets in very expensive guitars. So they're perfectly smooth. Fret ends are perfectly rounded. I would honestly say that it's the best fret job that I've ever seen in my life, because it's unbelievable how smooth they are to play and how comfortable they feel. The neck here is made out of maple, and I believe it to be a 3-piece maple because you can see the lines over here, and it has some flame to it, and in combination with this gorgeous finish, which is nitrocellulose, by the way, I think it looks amazing and it feels amazing. It's a they call it a traditional even C, and I believe this to be like the perfect neck shape for most players because it's not that chunky, it's not that thin. It's probably going to be comfortable for everyone, so they get a win with this one as well. The fretboard is made out of ebony, and it's a beautiful piece of ebony, very smooth. I'm actually a big fan of ebony because it just feels so smooth to play, and I like the snap that it has. And I believe the neck being maple, it contributes to that as well, to that snap that I'm talking about. The guitar just feels alive, and I really enjoy that about it. Let's talking about aesthetics, which is very important in guitars, even though guitar players are not going to admit it. We have this beautiful binding going all around the headstock, all around the neck, and also the body, the F-holes. I mean, this thing is covered in binding, which I really, really enjoy. So the body, the sides also flamed, in the back also flamed. So it's pretty flamey if you ask me, but I really enjoy the look of it. They're all made of laminate maple, which is totally fine for a guitar like this. Even the original Gibsons were made out of laminate maple. And it's a set neck, not a bolt down, nothing funky going around there. The pots on this are audio taper pots, and you can definitely feel that they're very quality pots. And now we're going to talk about the pickups, and they're not just some regular pickups. These are actually Seymour Duncan pickups. So on the neck position, we have the Seymour Duncan Jazz pickup, and the bridge has the Seymour Duncan 59 pickup. And they sound awesome. I like the Jazz a lot because it's very clear and very open, and the 59 has that mid-range that just barks, and this guitar can do anything, like rock and roll, blues, jazz, metal probably. It can do everything, and this pickup combination really helps because it just makes sense to have it this way. Now the bridge and the tailpiece are actually made in Japan Goto bridges, which you can find in very, very, very expensive guitars. This guitar is made by skilled luthiers. You can definitely tell that someone put in passion and put in hours into making this guitar because it's practically perfect. I mean, I can't see any finish flaws. The feel of this guitar is just beautiful. So someone did, a very skilled luthier did put in some work to this. And it's not that Eastman is a manufacturer that produces thousands of guitars a day. They have a small workshop, and as far as I know, these guitars don't even go through CNC, which just blows my mind. But don't quote me on that because I'm not quite sure about that. From what I've read on the internet, these don't even go through CNCs. They're just all handmade. And the finish on these is just beautiful. It's nitro finish, and it just feels amazing. The neck feels amazing. The neck shape is just beautiful. And as I said, the fretwork is amazing. If you're looking to buy a really good guitar, and if you have a dealer that stocks Eastmans, you owe it to yourself to check them out. All right, so that was enough talking. I hope you enjoyed the story. Let's try to get some tones out of this. I'll show you how all the combination sounds like. And today I'm plugged into the Boss Nextone stage, which Boss actually sent to me, and I'm very grateful for. It's a very versatile amp. It sounds gorgeous in low volumes. You can practice with it, and I would be really, really confident to gig this amp because it's wonderful. You're gonna hear it. You actually heard it in the intro. I did everything with this amp and the Line 6 HX Stomp XL, which I always say is the best piece of gear ever invented in the last decade. All right, neck pickup, clean tone. Let's see how this thing sounds like. Middle position. And last but not least, the bridge position. And where the bridge position shines is with a little bit of gain and something like this. Now, as you can tell, I don't play like that often, but I do enjoy the neck pickup with a little bit of distortion because it gives you that creamy tone, and it sounds something like this. My favorite tone on this guitar is the neck pickup with the tone roll down just a little bit, and I can definitely play this guitar for hours. Alright guys, so there you have it. I know you've been asking a lot of questions because of the last video about this guitar because it totally stole the show. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the tones out of it. I hope you liked the story and everything. And let me know what you think under the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe because that helps me a lot in my journey here on YouTube. And I'd love to bring you some more content soon. So stay safe, and I'll catch you with the next video. Bye bye.